Hello everyone, and welcome back to FM22. We are playing with the Bohemians in the Czech Republic, and we are getting into, well, it's the end of the preseason, but this is the preseason episode, where we are looking at new players. We're looking at, well, Michael Bess here, who has signed a new contract for us, and that's why we're looking at him. But yeah, we are looking at different kinds of stuff that happened during the preseason, and if you don't like that stuff, you can just jump over this episode and directly into some... We got two big matches in the first two, really big matches. So you can jump into those if you like it, or otherwise stick around and watch me talk about some of our players. So there we go. That's how that's gonna go with this episode. And like I said here, Michael Bess, we're gonna start with a new contract for him. And yeah, it's a 4-year deal. He's on 1.6k wages now. I mean, the wages are going up, but that's natural. So I'm pretty happy with that. It is as a squad player, so we can definitely rotate him, and he wouldn't be too upset about that. So yeah, fairly good deal for us, and I absolutely like him, and I think he has been absolutely solid throughout the seasons he's been playing with us. Yeah, 2 seasons, and he's been rock solid in that halfback role, so he'll be here for yet another season. Also, Siska has signed a 4-year contract for us. It is a 1.1k wages kind of deal with a regular starter in his contract. You know, you might be thinking, what? Why? An 18-year-old regular starter and what? Okay, so here's the deal. The main reason for this is because Sparta and Slavia Prague, both of them went on a bidding war for this guy. Absolutely bidding war. It actually went all the way up to 1.7 million. Yeah, I had a 1.7 million bid on this guy, and I was thinking, nah, not today. I think this guy, I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's a world beater, but he could potentially be a world beater. Worst case scenario, this guy is going to be a national star for the Czech Republic. Absolutely, he is. I have no doubt about it now, seeing his attributes and how they're developing, right? He's going to be, and the other reason is he's a homegrown. We're giving him a big contract, and he's going to be a starter, for sure. He's going to get at least 20 games this season. At least. Probably more so. He's also been doing really well in the non-competitions, in the friendlies. I don't see how I mean, and he decided to go for us, right? He had the option to go to Sparta or Slavia Prague, and he took our contract. I'm so happy with it. I am so happy, because in a season or 2, this guy could go for 40 million, right? That is the kind of deal we could look at in a year or 2 years. So this guy is only, this transfer value is only gonna go up significantly, and I'm very happy that we at least got him for 1 more year, because I think I'm not gonna say he could win us a title, but he could be one of the main reasons we are going to do really well next season. So yeah, I'm very happy about this. This is the first new signing of the transfer window, and it is Josef Starek. And like so many times before, this is a compensation deal. I paid 48k. Sorry about that. I have my windows open. There are 30 degrees outside. If you could hear it. I don't know if you could hear it. Anyway, he is a compensation deal, 48k, right? And I mean, he's on a long contract. I'm giving them really long contract by now. So a 4-year contract, 475 wages. He is sitting right now in our B squad. I'm still like, it depends on what happens in the transfer window moving forward, if he's gonna play or not. He could also go out on loan, but we could also... He's on that verge where, he could be good enough for the first team, but, you know, he's a youngster, 20 years old. He could develop quite a lot still. I'm not sure he's ever gonna be really good, but, you know what? Only paying 48k here. I think there is definitely a profit to be made on this guy, and he could also be a lot better than I think, so we'll see how it goes, but that's the first signing. Next one is a Könighaus, which I believe means king house in German. Yeah, I think so. 24 years old, so not that young, but very well-rounded wingback here. Absolutely great wingback. Is he my first choice as a wingback? Probably not. But he will probably get his playtime. He's a French player, but he's on a massive wage. That's how it goes when you get Germans in. They want massive wages. It's probably too much, but I was also thinking this guy is quite good. So but this is probably one of the mistakes I made this transfer window. This is too high of wages, and I thought I really needed him, and you know what? I might not have needed him as much as I thought I did. He's on a very long contract, 4-year deal as well. So, or is that 5 years actually? I think that's actually 5 years. Hopefully he's gonna do fine. He's been doing okay in the friendly years. 3 assists already. So hopefully he will do really well for us when he is playing. This guy needs to come big because he's so expensive. He's one of the top earners, right? He needs to come big for me. So I went back to the German. Honey hole. Not really. He's not from Dortmund. I think he's from Mainz. Yeah, he's from Mainz. So, but didn't cost us anything except from his wages, and he's been fantastic in the German second league. Maybe I don't know if Mainz is in the second. Nah, doesn't look like it. But playing for the Mainz second team here, he's been fantastic for them. So hopefully he will do fine for us as well. Next up is Mirankovic. He is a Serbian and a goalkeeper, of course. Our second option in the... yeah, probably second option, right? As a goalkeeper. I think Mikulek still got him beat here, but, you know, one for the future here. 19 years old. Did I pay anything for this guy? No, I don't think so. No, he came from Red Star on a free. So if we compare him really quickly to Mikulek, I think they are pretty close to each other, but I still think that Mikulec got him beaten. But you can see here communication, mental, and eccentric is a little bit better, but Mikulec got him beaten on the speed, physical, shot stopping, and distribution, even the aerial. He's still a better goalkeeper, Mikulec, but we got a really, really, really good second choice in there. So I'm pretty happy about that. 500 wages, pretty cheap as well, running for 4 years. So yeah, I think this was a really good deal actually. Tempelman, what a great name that is. Another German, 25 as well. So again, not youngsters, but they're coming into their best ages, and we could see a profit on these guys. Of course we could. And yeah, I think this might be the best signing so far because of the wages, because of how good he is and all of that. So he's a central midfielder, more a ball-winning midfielder than anything, but that's also what I was in need of. And he's also reasonable left-footed, which is great because that means he can also go back and play a inverted wingback if we really need him to. He is well suited to do that. So there are a lot to like about this guy, and 1,400 wages, 3-year deal. Yeah, I think this is probably the best signing so far. It's all up in the air, right? But so far, I really like this deal for us. He looks rock solid in there, so I'm very, very happy. Happy? I'm happy. Yeah. Anyway, I think this is just a really good deal for us as well. Luca Lessig. Oh, this guy's also interesting. He's 19 years old, from Montenegro or Serbia. I think he actually played in Serbia. Yes, he played for Red Star. So another deal from Red Star here, again on free. And he's definitely an option in the halfback area, right? He's pretty tall. He got the jumping reach. He got the heading, and overall his attributes are just... For a 19-year-old, this guy looks absolutely fantastic. He could develop quite a bit yet. If there is anything I don't like about this guy, is probably that his dribbling and technique is a little bit low still, but you know, for a 19-year-old, who cares? Also, he's a free deal, 500 wages, running for 4 years. I mean, it's a good deal. It's an absolutely fantastic deal, this one as well. And he could slot into the midfield and even into a central defender role if we wanted him to. He's perfectly adept to do it. There are no reason why he wouldn't be great down there. So yeah, it's I think it's a really, really, really great deal, this one. Another wingback is coming in. It is David Colina, 24 years old, 900 wages and running for 4 years. So that's why I was saying that Könighaus, I didn't really need him because I also got this guy in, who is... yeah, maybe better than Könighaus. I actually haven't compared them. We will do that in just a second here. So yeah, he's a fullback on the left-hand side as well. Complete wingback kind of thing. He came from, was it Slavia Prague? Yeah, Slavia Prague. He was sitting in the B team of Slavia Prague. They bought him for 650k, and you know what? Well, his contract was running out, so I bought him in for 53. He's been doing fantastic for them in the B squad, so sure, I'll take him. I'll take him off your hands, and I'll have a lot of depth in my wingback area, which is... This is good, because he can also slot into the inverted wingback, which I really needed someone that could do that on the right-hand side, and he is likely going to play over there quite a bit, especially with the attributes he has. He got everything to play that inverted wingback so nicely on the right-hand side. I am so happy about this signing. I think he's going to be very, very important for us. So yeah, it's a fantastic deal, but let's compare him with Könighaus here. That's a tight one. But yeah, I think Colina got him beaten, right? Yeah, no, they got their... I mean, they are so close. I mean, they're so well-rounded, both of them. It's really hard to tell. But of course, I'm gonna use them in different spots, because when it comes to Könighaus, he's not an inverted... I could train him to do that. Maybe I should. But right now, I'm thinking he's probably more the wingback, and this guy's probably more the inverted wingback on the other side. Are they my first choices? Yeah, depends. Depends on what kind of tactic we're using, right? Depends on if we're using the wingback up here, then he's not. And if we're using an inverted wingback over here, then no, he's not. Then there are other guys in our squad that are gonna play those roles. But on the spot that they are good at, they are the first choice, right? The wingback for Könighaus and the inverted wingback on the other side for Colina. They're probably first choices. Simon Gabriel, another central defender coming in, 23 years old, 525 wages, that's pretty damn low. 4-year deal, and I think he's good enough for the first team. He is definitely not the first choice, he's not the second choice, or even the third choice. But yeah, he's probably the fourth choice, right? But yeah, he's on an impact sub kind of deal, so it should be fine. It should be fine. I don't think he's gonna get mad not playing a whole lot. We got 3 other defenders that are way better than him. So, but still, he's a Czech, and yeah. Did I pay for? Yeah, I actually paid 46k for him, but yeah, I think I'll get my money back. I'm not too worried about that actually. I think it's okay, and I kind of needed. I didn't really need an extra one, but I thought, yeah, sure, I'll take him. So there he is. So that was the players that I have signed. That was all of them so far. I mean, I think we might need something else as well, but we'll get into that later on. So I've released 3 players, and it is Hanosek, Hulker, and Matt Hauster, who is just a youngster that never really played for us. But yeah, of course, Hulker and Hanosek is, well, that's high wages gone, and it's also high quality. I mean, Hulker was... I don't know if he was our best defender anymore, but he was definitely up there as the second best, if so. Hanosek, yeah, I mean, he wanted some crazy wages, and he's 31, so gonna let him go. It's alright, especially when we look at the new boys we got in on that wingback role. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So I haven't actually sold anyone new, but Luca was of course getting sold for that. Well, it could get up to 425k, but right now 350k. That's already in the bank, so that's great. He's gone, and then we have a good amount. Actually, Kralik here, he was just a youngster. He was let go for free, and then we have a good list of loan deals going out. I did say that I didn't want to get too many out on loan. You know, the wages was a problem, so I'm gonna let them go out there on 100% deals. And also, some of these guys also have, you know, optional fees of buying them. I think Doodle has that. I think Chihak has that. I think maybe Djekovic. I don't remember. But yeah, there are gonna be more loan deals going out. Who players that we don't really need, that we need to develop a little bit. Going down to all these teams. Actually, that we actually have a new deal with these Krudim, who is a affiliate where we can send players to. So we already sent this guy down there. They actually wanted him, so we're gonna let him go down there. A youngster, our goalkeeper from last season, a youngster. He can go down there and play some second division football. So all of these teams are in the second division or in the best league in Slovakia, right? So that's all good. That's all good, and I'm pretty happy with just. I mean, some of these guys here, they are pretty close to first team football, but they are not quite there. not quite there. Chihakir, not really right there yet, and I would like to sell him instead of anything. He's probably better than the other central defenders I brought in, but yeah, maybe. Depresini as well from last season. Doodle is going out on loan again. Velik is going out on loan. And I think he has an option to buy as well. So yeah, he's probably gone. Seaman. I mean, he's a really good youngster, but he's not good enough for our team. So going out on loan again. Djekovic as well. So there we go. And probably more. I think there's gonna be a whole more list here to go when the transfers are over. I hope that we're gonna sell someone as well, because we kind of need that in terms of the finances. We take a look at the finances here. We are okay. I mean, our sponsorships are really great and all, so we are 3.6 up, but it all depends on that Europa League competition, right? If we can get into that, well, there's gonna be a lot more money coming in, but if not, then we're going into the minus at the end of the season. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that actually. In terms of the tactic, I have made the change. So we are playing with a target forward up there on support, and I pushed the pressing forward a little bit more over there, which is interesting. We still have everything else is the same, except from this. Previously, this one was actually forcing right. Now it's forcing left, and the other one was forcing right, left, and now it's forcing right. Confusing, but we are now forcing our play over toward our wingback. Before we actually pushed it toward the inverted wingback and the central midfielder on attack and the inside forward. But now we're pushing it over here instead. So it is actually quite a bit of a change, tactically speaking. And I'll show you what that means in terms of passing and all that later on. But the biggest change here is definitely the target forward, coming deep, getting the ball, and what you can see here is where we are forcing it on the left-hand side, and this is likely the best squad that I can put out there for this tactic, okay? So that's kind of the best players out there, I think. I mean, you can always argue that Janosek might be better than Templeman in there, or Ukwu could be better than Pasalic if we moved him over here, but that's when we are moving him over there. We're going to play Ukwu over there. Or Ukwu might be better than Siska as a target man. You can all argue that. It's always an argument to that, and we'll see how it goes. But so far, this is probably what I think is both the best tactic, but also the best players for the tactic that we can provide. So we can move it over, like we can do this, and then I can go in here and say manage, and go to wingback right, because the wingback is on the right-hand side on this one. And then we have I would probably call more I mean, I took Bornemann out of here, and I also took out some of the midfielders. So Janosek is in there, and Halfer is in now there. Aikidi is in there, and also and Defi is on the inverted wingback, and Dero is on the wingback. Definitely a good team. Definitely a good team, but I got less death on this. I do only have Dara here, and also Ndefi, but Ndefi kind of need to play over here if we do this, so I'm kind of missing out on a wingback. I do have Havoy right now, but he could go out on loan, so we're kind of missing a wingback on that side, and we're also missing an inside forward over here, because only Ukwu and, what is his name, Pasalic can actually play over there. So this is probably my secondary tactic, just because I'm missing a couple of players for this tactic. So the other one is my main kind of deal. So, but definitely it's something we can do in games where we can just change it around like last time. And this one is forcing it down the right-hand side over towards the wingback here. Now, what is funny about this is because we still got the central midfielder on the right-hand side on attack compared to the other one. And I feel like that might not be the best case, but it is best suited for the players on that right-hand side playing there, because when Halfar or the other guy, Templeman is playing on the left-hand side, they are more defensive-minded, so that's why I'm going for the attack on the right-hand side, where Janosek and Solil is gonna play. So that is the tactics, basically the same, just with that slight difference of the target forward and focusing it down the opposite of what we did last season compared to the roles we have. So there we go, that's the tactics. So, how does that look in the squad depth? I like coming in here and I like showing it because I think it's a very good tool. This is the false left, where we have the wingback on the left-hand side. Probably our strongest formation. And as you can see here, we got 3 target forwards up here. Ugwu, Siska, and Chijani, who is probably likely all going to be part of the main squad this season. On the other side, as a pressing forward, and that would go for the same way as the other way around. We got Bohemian, we got Ugwu, who could also play over here, Sutil, Kubala, and Usmansik. So I think striker-wise, I think we're good. The question is, how many goals do they have in them? I hope Siska is going to come big this one, and also Bornemann. That's probably the 2 I would bet on having the most goals this season, Siska and Bornemann. But we'll see. We'll see at the end of the season how that goes. On the right-hand side as an inside forward, we got Pasalik. Absolutely fantastic last season, and he is really good. And then we got pretty much everyone that is also up here. We got Bornemann, Sutil, Kubala, and Siska, who would also go over here and play there. And they have done so. Sutil and Kubala in a couple of seasons ago, they did really well in that role. Siska could also come down and play here. Bornemann could even come down and play here. So plenty of death in that situation, right? In the midfield, on the right-hand side, as attacking midfielder, or, you know, central midfielder on attack, Solil, Janosek, that's the 2 main guys in there. The other ones are here just because they could play here, but I would more so play Solil and Janosek. On the left-hand side, I would probably not play Solil or Janosek, but they could go over here and play here if we need them to, but it would be more Templeman, Finson and Halfar. I think Finson might be moving up to the midfield this season or play there from time to time, but more so probably Templeman and Halfar are going to rotate, and Finson sometimes when there is an injury risk. On the wingback situation, we got Finson, Colliner and Könighaus. I would probably say it's going to be mostly Finson and Könighaus, because Colliner, he's going to mostly play on the right-hand side, where he's probably the best option here. And we also have 2 other options, which is Endefi and Templeman, but Colliner is the best inverted wingback, but the other 2 can definitely slot in there. So you can see that there is a lot of players overlapping on different positionings, right? In the defensive midfield on our halfback role, it's the same guys, right? It's Aikidi and Bez, and then we also have Lessig, the youngster, who could come in and play here as a 3rd choice, and 4th choice Halfar I mean, Halfar can play both spots here, but he's definitely 2nd or 3rd choice on both spots, so he's gonna play a little bit less this season, I would say. But we will see. It depends on how well he's playing as well. In the central defense, we got Bedakar, we got Marcel. Sorry, on the right-hand side, where we I want right-footed players, right? So Bedakar could play over here, but he's gonna slot in either spot where we need it, because he can definitely play both spots. So he's like that slot-in player. Marcel is probably the 1st choice over here, where Starek and Gabriel is the 2nd choices. I don't know who is gonna be the 3rd choice right now, but Bedakar is like the 4th choice actually, because he can also slot in over here. So he's gonna be more important for this role over here. Halvorstad is the 1st choice on the left-hand side, as he has a really strong left foot. So definitely the 1st choice, also probably the best central defender we have. Finson could slot in. I don't really want him to slot in too often, because he's not a very tall guy, he's not very good in the air and all, but he could slot in here as well, and he has done perfectly fine when he has done that. And Bedakar probably 2nd choice here. That's why I don't want him to play on the right-hand side too often, because I need him on that left-hand side. We do have more squad depth outside of that, of course. More players could play in these positions all around, but this is how right now I see our squad, and how strong we are outside of the best 11, right? And if we move over to the other one, if we take a quick look here, Endefi could play the inverted wingback role on the left-hand side if we move it over to this tactic. Finson and Könighaus, not the best options, but they can definitely do the role. On the other hand, we only really got Dara and Endefi over here as well. So Endefi, you know, that's why I'm saying this tactic might not be the best, because right now we do not have a lot of squad depth over here. We also do have Ravoy, but remains to be seen if he's going to be any good on that wingback role, right? So yeah, a little bit worrying about that one. And if we go up to the AML, or the inside forward, we got Ugwu, who is very well adept to play this role, but I don't know. Again, I don't think we're gonna play this tactic as much as the other one. So, but yeah, he could definitely do it. Pasalik would go over and play a winger over here. He's done that quite a bit last season. He did that to great extent actually. Könighaus, I didn't actually know this, but he can definitely go up here and play as a winger as well. If you look at his numbers, No problem. He even got the player traits for it. So yeah, that's another deal where we could look at moving him up as a winger as well. So when we use this tactic, we would likely very often use a winger if Pasalic or Könighaus is going to play up here. And otherwise, it's the same down through the spine of the central here. So there we go. That is also the squad depth, just how it looked, and I like to show it. And you know what? Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, I don't know. But I like to show it. Just to, it's also giving me a really good indication of where do we might need something. Right now, if we're looking at this, where do we maybe need something? Maybe up here, maybe here. And if we move over to the other one, we could definitely do with maybe one more over here, because Ndefi and Templeman is... They're not inverted wingbacks, right? They're not, but he could go down and do it, but he's not exactly an inverted wingback. Neither is Ndefi on this side. He is on the other side, but he's not an inverted wingback on the right-hand side. Could strengthen that. We could strengthen the central defense area here, just with one extra body in there. But it's not something we really need to do, and our wages are quite high, and we got a lot of youngsters, so we might just move one of the youngsters up if we need someone, right? Or recall them from a loan deal, because I'll rather use some of the youngsters that we have instead of going out and finding new players right now. It doesn't really... We already have a lot of players, and we need to use some of the players we have, or get rid of them and then get new ones in. So there we go, guys. That's the squad depth as well. A couple of other news is the staff area. I have kind of changed a couple of things in here. Now, we do have a couple of new staffs in there. You can just see how good they are. It's just not really important to show them, to be honest. But we do have a new assistant manager as well. Where is he? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? I don't know, but he's in there somewhere. We do have a new assistant manager, and where is he? I'm so confused. There he is. So fuck. Just a quick look. That's probably, you know, the only one you really will see a whole lot too. So that's a new, and he's actually quite good with how we are playing, and yeah. But he is on a heavy wage, but you know what, that's what it is. But what I wanted to talk about was actually the responsibilities, because I've kind of, I don't often do this, but I was thinking, okay, let me try that. Let me try that. Because we do have a lot of B team members and a lot of, you know, under 19s now. So I thought, why not use a technical director and let him do his duty of signing new good, you know, managers for the B teams and staff for the B team and under 19. So I'm trying to do that. Right now it seems like it's working, because this guy's really good at... oh, that's not the dude, is it? Wait, is that the dude? It is negotiating, right? He's fairly decent at negotiating and judging staff abilities, and he moved in quite a bit of new staff for the coaching. What's it called? B squad here. He moved in quite a bit, and they're on some really low, cheap wages, and I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it, and the under 19s as well. So we got pretty much the best staff in the entire league, right? In the entire Czech division. We're pretty much there. We just have the best staff. Now that will cost us a bit of money, of course. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna cost us, but it will also develop our players a lot better. So I hope that means that we're doing the right thing here, and moving some of the responsibilities out to directors and stuff like that. I'm fine with that if they can do the job really nicely. So that's a lot of the responsibilities have changed. I mean, I'm still doing most of it, especially when it comes to contracts and stuff like that. Then I'm in. That's me. But yeah, I'm moving a lot of stuff around. A lot of pieces are being moved around here. So it was a very busy, summer transfer or summer preseason. So yeah, that's one thing, and I got a couple of other interesting bits of pieces to talk about here. This is what we need to talk about, or at least one of the things, but this is the most important thing that have happened in the preseason. We had a Super Cup final. Yeah, and we won it. Now, this is a pretty special one, I would say, because it's between two different nations. I don't think I've ever seen that before, have I? Maybe there are. Yeah, there are different ones, but this is an interesting one, because it's between Slovakia and Czech Republic, and we know the history between those two nations, right? But I think it's a great idea to have a Super Cup between those two nations, because yeah, you know that not too long ago it was called Czechoslovakia, But now it's of course two different nations, and they have this Super Cup between them with the two cup finalists, or the two that won the cups in either nation, of course. So we played Dunstrida, I don't know, from Slovakia, and we won this Super Cup. So we already won silverware. We're done. We're dusted. We did it. We already have more silverware this season. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, we completely slaughtered them. I don't think it's a really good team, but we also kind of break a tradition here, because if we take a look at the history records, no, not the past winners, right? Slavia Prague. They've just been on it, right? Since the beginning of this new Super Cup here in 2017, when was it in 2017 that Slovakia and Czech Republic got split up? No, I think it's before that. I just don't think they got the the history for it anyway. I actually don't know when the Czech Republic and Slovakia got separated. I think it was in the 90s, but I'm actually not sure about it. But anyway, we're kind of breaking up a tradition here for Slavia Prague to get it. There we go. I mean, that's great. Always more silverware for the club, right? More silverware for the club. There we go. We got 2 Czech second division trophies. We got what we got last season, FA Cup, and now we also got this Super Cup. Lovely stuff. I absolutely love it. Look at how much money we also have now in our fine. I think we started on like, was it just about 1 million, or maybe I think it was below 1 million actually, but I'm not too sure. But we're definitely going up. We're definitely moving up in the world right now. So that's great news. So, the league. Well, as you can see, Sparta Prague of course won the league, but the league have already started as well. We just haven't played our first game yet. We are sitting right in front of it. And I guess I could already now tell you the schedule here. Oh yeah, it is Slavia Prague first, and then Sparta Prague. Jesus, that's a way to start. So we are of course gonna see those 2 games, and then we are likely also gonna come back for these cup playoffs that we don't know who we are gonna play yet. But that's for the future, of course. That's a couple of episodes away already. So if we go into the first division here again, we didn't move up in the. If we go into here and into the championship, we can see we still have the same qualifications in terms of the European competitions, right? So we haven't moved up in terms of how well we did. But I do know that Slavia Prague actually got into the quarterfinal in the Conference League. So we are definitely still. We're not moving down either, so that's good. That's good. Well done, Slavia Prague, keeping us in the spots of getting these qualifiers again, because that's really nice to have. It means money. It means money for both us, but also the rest of the Czech divisions. It just means more money, more reputation to make sure that we have that, and we need to do well in the European competition this year as well. Hopefully we will do well. Now, in terms of our season preview here, the media is still only predicting us 51 in odds. Same as last season. Yeah, I guess we are around the same kind of strength as last season, but I still think we are in the top 4. I think we are in the question of getting a top 4, right? And we could even maybe again this season. It all depends, of course. But I think we are still in the conversation of getting into a title. But I just believe still Sparta Prague is probably the best team in there. And we're probably more on terms with Victoria Pilsen. I think our strength is more equal to Victoria Pilsen. Banja Ostrava, if they have a good season, they could, they could be one of those teams that could try and beat us to that top 4. But we'll see how it goes. But you know what? I just think I wanted to show you this again, just to see where the media is actually predicting us. We are overachieving every single season. We are overachieving compared to what the media is thinking we should do. So that's all good, and we are developing new players, and we haven't sold a lot of players this season, but we did sell one for almost 500k, Luca. But I was actually thinking we might have sold. I mean, I could have sold Siska, but I didn't want to. So it might be harder than I think to sell players in this division or in this nation. Hopefully, my choices of getting a lot of players in and having them out on loan will pay out, and it won't be a hurdle or whatever you want to call it, but it's that remains to be seen because I mean the transfer window is definitely not over yet. There is still bits and pieces to be done. You can see here there are someone coming in for Havroy, which is leaving us with one less wing back on the right hand side, and yeah, that contract might be done. We'll see about that. I actually don't know what this... Oh, yeah, it is actually for an optional future fee of 47k. So that's actually a quite good deal. And they also pay quite a good amount if he reaches 20 games or even 10 games. So, yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with that. And more deals could be done, as you can see. So, yeah, that's all good. But I think that's about all for me from the preseason here. And wow, we do have some really tough games in there. We even got Victoria Pilsen here. We got Slovan Liberec, which is also could be a hard game, and Jablonec. But we are next episode is gonna be Sparta Prague and Slavia Prague, which is I mean, I wouldn't be too sad about losing the first one away from home, but this one. We need a result in that. Also, just to keep the morale going, we do need a result against Sparta Prague, I think, when we are playing at home. We can't just let them go in and win it 3 or 4-0. That would be a disaster to me. So, yeah, that's... if you want to see that, well, that's going to be the next episode, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed this one. See you around next time.